recorded the Baton Rouge break-in just as Shreveport House. Found those in the safe there. Paper stock's over 15 years old. God damn it. Easy.
1,000 times more successful on here if I didn't make videos where I study an actual subject and do research and give you guys the actual truth on what happened. If I made up some bullshit and put them out here with titles and thumbnails based upon bullshit, I'd be 1,000 times more successful. But my integrity is more important to me than doing shit like that. And the reason why you guys watch my channel is because I don't do that. So when you watch a video here, you know you're not going to get some conspiracy theory bullshit. So when this YouTuber is making this Leo video with this theory that I'm covering up all this bullshit, it's just for views. He wants attention to his channel, which I'm not going to mention his channel here to give him the attention that he wants. It's all for views, no different than Connor Murphy. But in the end, it's disrespectful to Leo's family, his mother, his father, Lucy. They wouldn't be my friends, Tana, Lucy. They wouldn't be my friends giving me information to give to you guys if I was covering up for somebody in this.
Tana, we did it. God is good, man. It took months. But like I said, John, you are part of the cabal. You are part of the cabal. I can tell you are spooked. You are spooked. I care about the message. I care about the message. And it's crazy when you find out how this world works, guys. This is deflection. He doesn't want to mention the channel because I've gone very far in depth with the data. And it was my boy Shaq, Big Rust, that just brought it to my attention that it was somebody else that was covering my initial data and analysis is what got the ball rolling and sparked it in the algorithm to finally get to John. So it took somebody analyzing my data and then them being a bigger channel to even get to John. That's how this YouTube shit works. John would have probably never even seen it on my channel. But now when people start going down this rabbit hole, they're going to see the other videos that are out there. They're going to see that I've tied together that since Connor and Tony are actual U.S. citizens, that the U.S. is tied to this. This is not just a Thai investigation. Because Leo and Tony and Connor were U.S. citizens that committed a crime overseas, just the fact that they are U.S. citizens ties it back that they will all be extradited. And John, you will be implicated in a conspiracy to commit murder and murder one. Notice the bags. The heavy bags under John Bravo's eyes. Those aren't coincidental bags. Those are rushed. This video is rushed. 5 months to get this in the traction into the algorithm. I know that the wheels are turning now. When they say 5 iron strikes and this is the porcelain and all. Oh my God, Leo, let's fucking go. Leo, we did it, man. We did it. If anything, if it's long live Leo gang, it's about finding who did this and having them come to justice. Foxy ain't on Tony's team like that. You think Foxy on his team like that? Nah. Unless he's paying? Nah. So Foxy, when you watch my video, go ahead and get 20,000 out of Tony Huge. Go ahead and ask Tony Huge right now for $20,000. He's going to have to give it to you. Canada, go ahead and ask Tony Huge for $20,000. He's going to have to give it to you. Connor Murphy, don't be anywhere near Tony Huge. Because guess what? You are the biggest liability right now to Tony Huge. But Tony Huge is a liability to himself. So Foxy, Canada, go ahead and get Tony Huge for 25 large each. And get your ass out of town. And then go to the Thai police. Get him for a bag. Yeah, I think 25 to 30 large is... We'll have her... maybe 40 large. Put it in a backpack. Put it in a room. A guy will go grab that backpack and then go get it to Foxy because you're not going to whack Foxy on the way to get the money. And then Foxy will have her money. Actually, put both the 40 and 40,000 for Foxy. Put the 20,000 in a bag for Canada. Let them get out of town. So ladies, go ahead and do that. And then you go off to your real hiding spots in Thailand where they can't find you. And Tony's out 60 large. And now he's got to go whack Connor because that's his only loose end. Yeah, Adam Judd. the journalist that covered everything up, your career is over. John Bravo, your career is in jeopardy as well. You have to make this video, John. Guess what? He has to make this video. I don't. I'm making it because I'm so fueled and I just want to keep doing everything the right way in life to live and to have this, to see this thing through for Leo and longevity, to have his message and his murder be justified and solved. This is the Lord's work. This is not mine. Let's go. This is only a 9-minute video. This was a rushed video told by Tony Huge and the Cabal to put out, to block the narrative that I will die on this information. I will die on this hill. If this information isn't correct, you can put a bullet through my fucking skull. You can put a bullet through my fucking skull. You've never done journalism, an investigation like this for a YouTube video, John, in your whole entire time on YouTube. I'm taking facts and data from forums and crime scene photos and Adam Judd. How do you think they got the message out? I'm the one that told everybody who Adam Judd is. Adam Judd is Tony Huge's best friend, the journalist they went to get the article out. John, your left trap is way smaller than your right. Stop jerking off, man. You got bags under your eyes. Why? You know that you're looped up in this. Leo is coming back from the grave. We're all rising back up. I just cried for 5 minutes for Tana. I just cried 5 minutes for Lucy. You are disingenuous, John. You see, the only time he brings in a collage is to get sympathy points for his followers. Connor Murphy, and you can go back to my videos if you want, if you watch, because this is a reoccurring theme. Connor Murphy and Tony Huge are manipulating and masterminds and working these social media algorithms and the data. I am so hyped about the fact that it took, I don't know, however long, and just the fact that it's finally getting out to the big guns shows me how the algorithms work. I made those videos in March and April. I did the club head strike analysis video. They're probably going to try to take those videos down. I did those videos in April with wrestling mats in my garage because I said, you know what, that porcelain 5-iron strike, the triangle creates, that would be I can create that in the wrestling mat. I have wrestling mats from the 90s from an old high school in my garage. I have a whole wrestling room in my garage. And when I hit it with the club strike, it leaves that indentation for a second because it's that porous material. John, you've never taken crime scene photos and solved a murder before, have you? For any video you've done? This is not conjecture. That's why I say, if Connor Murphy is not involved with the Thai woman, you can kill me. That's how confident I am, because I have God on my side. If I don't do anything else in life, and I was meant to solve an unsolved murder of somebody that they're trying to paint to be a bad guy. They put all these hit pieces out on him the same day he dies. You trying to smut the man's name the day he dies. You guys are all bullshit. You're involved, John, because look at the bags under your eyes, man. I can analyze this whole video for you guys. It's only 9 minutes. There's nothing to it. Look at this. He brings up an old interview where he's basically implicating Foxy. Foxy's the one brought over Kanatha, and he's admitting that Kanatha was on the scene. Connor Murphy comes in that Friday night. He came in Thursday, Friday. Him, Straight Cody, and Tony Huge, and Vigorous Steve, they all went out that next morning and went shooting. Connor Murphy was there. He came in that night to Thailand. So, Tony Huge, Connor Murphy, and Straight Cody, maybe this is February 8th, maybe February 7th. This is a week after the events transpire. Tony Huge is about to try to coerce Connor Murphy to start plugging steroids for the first time and suppress his own testosterone. Look at what Connor Murphy's biggest fear is by starting a testosterone cycle that is going to suppress his testosterone. Look and see what his first hurdle would be in doing so. Take a look.
You always have unlimited access to it, irrespective of any circumstance, right?
Oh, you're worried about the zombie apocalypse event.
This honestly may be a realistic fear. I try and do some OnlyFans in Thailand where porn is banned, and I end up in a Thai prison, you know, or something like that. In a Thai prison without testosterone, right? Once you suppress your own, you have to come off. You're gonna feel like
Really?
some shit.
That scenario, Connor Murphy? I don't understand why that would be your first concern. Ending up in a Thai prison, Tony Hughes is looking down at his plate like, motherfucker, shut up. He didn't think that we would come full circle, and months later we're analyzing this data of you and Connor and Straight Cody in a Pattaya restaurant, going over the content that you are putting all on the internet. Tony Hughes, thank you for giving us the crime scene photos. You helped solve the murder, whether you want to believe it or not. This is not a coincidence. And when the heat is on, and it's Straight Cody, Connor Murphy, Tony Hughes, when all the pieces start to come together and they start closing in on these individuals in Thailand or the ones who did it, Straight Cody can't take it anymore, and he deactivates and deletes his Instagram. Vigorous Steve, hi there, buddy. Yeah, he's involved too. They're all involved. This cabal is like 10 deep. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Lord, for bringing the awareness to this. And it's long live Leo, guys. When I release this Guru Amin videos, because I think it's very, very telling that I release my Guru Amin review video here in a day or two, because it'll put it all in perspective that we have the full picture now. Everyone is part of the cabal. Guru Amin, we'll throw your name in there. You are also part of the cabal. I have other videos of vlogs of Tony Hughes and Leo and Longevity. Tony Hughes was implementing a harem system and trying to recommend a harem lifestyle for Leo and Longevity. He wasn't really about it. He wasn't really about having all the women, because they saw how the women just used Tony for money and a safe place to stay and cater to his requests. But no woman is going to be 100% loyal to you when they see you fucking another woman. Tony thinks he got it made, but he only has it made because he's spending the bread. They don't love you, Tony. Leo was not really fucking with the system, but since he came out to Thailand and said, okay, you know what, I'll run with it, make Tony happy, I'll start a little mini harem, or feed into some of his lifestyle choices. So Leo started getting the hoes and the easy chicks down in Pattaya and started to, you know, fuck them and stuff like that. So let's say that Leo likes his sexual encounters a certain way.
Yeah.
And noises and stuff, and it's a little scary because this is a little bit more than normal. I mean, there's definitely screams that come from his room, but this is like next level screaming. This is like I don't think this is okay screaming.
Yeah.
Once I started doing my due diligence, I had to focus primarily on Tony Hughes because it happened in his home. What you will understand about Tony Hughes is that Tony Hughes is going to protect the harem at all costs. So understand that he is not a bros before hoes type of guy because he wants to have 5 hoes. So he's always going to be on the side of the hoes because Leo's gone. So he's got to weigh his options like, okay, Leo's gone, so I want to keep my harem. And I want to keep all the women in my harem complete. So he's going to always align with the side of the women and the side of the individuals of Thailand because his place of residence is Thailand. His honor and dignity and his loyalty and allegiance is going to be that of the individuals in Thailand. Let's keep that in perspective.
So I was pretty nervous about it, but like you don't I don't want to disturb Leo's privacy during certain times. Like certainly when he's with a girl, I don't want to like interrupt, and I don't know what's going on, and so. But later she comes out to my room to talk to my girl when she's done in his room, and she's crying, and she's holding her neck like she can't breathe, and just kind of a mess. And I knew what happened, but I had my girl talk to her and then explain to me what happened, and I said, okay, we need to calm this down right now before someone calls the police. So I said, please make sure your friend's comfortable. I'll pay whatever it takes.
To me, that's a big key, right? Because you guys remember when Leo died, the last photos of him were him with that Sharmuta that night, right before he died, which I'm going to touch more here in a moment. So saying that, I still believe.
Really quick in this video, I want to take a quick look, because we know that it was limited to the bathroom, but it was either limited to the bathroom or Leo's room, because they had to also grab the sheets, because there's a second part of the video. You need to watch more of my videos where they actually had to use bed sheets because they didn't know there would be that much blood. So what they did is they took his body and took it out. They cleaned the floor up of the pooling blood, and then they put him actually back into the bathroom. If you would like visual representation of this, I'm not going to put it in this video, but I will tell you that we have visual representation that there was, from the head strikes, the cranial damage, there was bleeding from Leo's top down. So it was leaking from his head back down through his top of his head and down through his neck, which shows he was on his back for a short period of time. But when he was put back in the bathroom, he was laid face down, and then we have blood going the opposite direction. So that's how we know for a fact that his body came out, that was pulled out, it was laid flat on his back, cleaned, and then they put him back in the bathroom face down. So the access point and the exit point might not have been, it might have been for Kanatha. Do you see that window at the top? Where, so basically Connor, and if you look at the crime scene photos, which we will not look here, we had these legging pants that were tied up like pigtails, like the story of the girl that had the pigtails and she had them out the castle window. The pigtails were so long that they stretched them out the window. Okay, that's how they got Lil Mama out the window. Connor rips the door handle off, comes out, closes the door, wipes that door handle off, and do you see this access point window here, where the shade is lifted up? We have the step right there where Connor steps up. You see the paper towels right by the door. He exits this window, okay, and then wipes everything down right there because there's conveniently placed paper towels right there that would wipe off any prints that's right by the window. So he lets Shorty go out the small window. He rips the door handle off, and then we exit this big window. Was luminol used on any of these exit windows? Was luminol used on that small window inside the bathroom? Was luminol used on this big window outside into Leo's bedroom? Was luminol used in any of these orifices and these exit windows? Probably not. That would have tied in some of these exit points and tied in the fact that you cannot get rid of these DNA traces that would have been left on these exit points, these potential exit points in Leo's room. That is a alternate
Tony
theory.
knows more than even what he's told us so far. And I'm his friend, and I'm telling you this. So what I was saying about the Sharmuta, okay? When Leo was first killed, my first thought when I saw the crime scene, I said, you know what happened? He was probably with the Sharmuta, because I know.
I'm getting chills right now because when I talk about Lucy's video, I can bring Lucy's video up. The nuance fucking matters. Do you know why I mentioned Adam Judd? I'm getting chills right now because I dive into the incremental nuance to the smallest T. John Bravo is conveniently layering this little clip right here when, I'm talking about when I saw the footage, and you see how he's layering the news article behind the crime scene footage? Look, and it's by Becca
Probably with the Sharmuta, because I know.
No. I'm not going to let you get away with that. You don't want to know who originally put out the real article. You would never use Adam Judd and the journalist, the actual journalist that you want to hide. You would never use the article that's how Lucy found out about the death, because the Ennis go down this huge rabbit hole. Ennis, the one that runs Swiss.is. Yeah. He's the one that texted Lucy and said Leo's dead. So she didn't know it was legit, like quote unquote legit. So she went on to Pattaya News, or she went on to look at the article. And that's the one she found from Adam Judd that said the U.S. Embassy had already been contacted. So guess what? Lucy didn't take the time to contact the U.S. Embassy, did she? until sometime later. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what slows down the investigation from getting to the U.S. But it's so convenient because part of the cabal is John Bravo, and John Bravo won't even use, look at this, John Bravo won't even use Adam Judd's article.
Probably with the Sharmuta because
February
I know.
1st, no, why, John? Why not use the article, the original article? Because you can't. It's the cabal, and he has to protect the cabal. That's Tony's guy.
How much Tony brings the Sharmutas around. And Leo was into it. If you watched his stories at the time, you saw him around a bunch of these girls, right? And I said, you know what happened? I think something happened with the Sharmuta. He ended up getting killed that night. And when all these other details came out, it made me more believe that this happened. He was with the Sharmuta that night.
Bro. You see how this guy is so disingenuous? No, he didn't even want to say killed. You didn't even want to say killed, John. You were the most disingenuous investigative journalist on YouTube because when you covered that California gang murder, you came out and said it was murder. I showed people that. When you frame a narrative, when you know the facts, you put the facts out how they're stated. Well, even when Tony now, like he's trying to cover his tracks as an investigative journalist, he's not one. You're a jock that thinks he knows something. Take an IQ test, John. Well, I still think Tony's not telling me what he... Okay, so what are you implying? This guy's a fucking clown and he's been paid off by Tony to say whatever the fuck he wants because he sucks Tony Hughes' cock. That's all you do, man. That's all you do. You take bread from Tony, and that's why that right side sitting up from a little higher than your left side is because he's put like 10K in your fucking wallet, dude. You're a sellout. And I've been saying that. And don't act like you don't see my videos, man. I'm calling you out directly, John Bravo. You're a fucking sellout. You see how that right side sitting up higher? He got 10K in his wallet. This ain't the first time. Go back and watch my videos. I've been calling this weak-ass motherfucker, this sellout motherfucker out for a long time, dude. He's fake. He's so fake. I don't even want to watch the rest of this because he's trying to frame his own narrative to save his ass. Because he knows Tony Hughes is fucking cooked. He's trying to separate himself. No, John, I've already showed that you've modified security camera footage. You are involved. Why won't they mention Connor Murphy's in town? Connor Murphy's at the same house where he got, Tony Hughes is saying she's choked and they went into the room. Why haven't you said Connor Murphy's at the house too? And she went and talked to Connor too. And then Connor and her were up there making some noise. It was them clubs. Because look, she's a little prissy bitch. Look at this. Hold on. Yeah, look. Let me show you guys something. Yeah, we'll freeze frame right here. Because I love the look on Connor's face. I love this look. I'm that voice that Connor doesn't want to hear. I'm the only voice. The one voice that I think this man really wants to have a conversation with me because I know this man. I've been following this man for years. I know that this man runs a cult. He frames it like it's a religious school, but he is a cult leader. He's the reincarnation of the devil, and I know him better than a lot of people know him. I'm so happy to have another discussion with you, sir. Hey, Con man, how you doing? This woman's Instagram was not called Fuckable Fairy. It was Fairy World. She had a very innocent channel. And shortly after the murder of Leo and Longevity, he takes over this woman's Instagram. He changes her Instagram to Fuckable Fairy and starts exploiting her on OnlyFans. Starts using her for his own desires, for his own monetary gain. And you're talking about John Bravo has done no due diligence, saw a video of a video, and doesn't even know who I am, but I've been talking shit about this stupid motherfucker for months. He's not an investigative journalist. He gets paid off by Tony Hughes and does a Glock 3000 on Tony Hughes' cock. But why not? If Connor Murphy kills for Canatha, kills because Leo was having a very rough sexual encounter and John Bravo wants to put up a video on his new Leo video of the original interview that is trying to frame the narrative that it was Leo that was choking her. For what? For what reason? Because they were in there to fuck. We're not going to shift the narrative. She came there to get paid for sex and they were having sex. Wake up, people. Be able to logically deduce facts. I'm walking you down the timeline and realize there's no other person other than Connor. He feels comfortable enough like, dude, I killed for you, so I'm taking over your whole Instagram and you're mine, bitch. You are mine. He can do whatever he wants because they killed together. She can't do anything because he'll be like, oh yeah, you remember? Okay, you remember that murder of that guy that got unsolved? Yeah, she did it. So they have this sort of thing over each other where they can't leave each other, but they can't do anything without each other. It's sickening. There's no other way. I can show you the GPS coordinates. I can show you the virtual map of this location. It is a gated community to get in there. And it's a roundabout, right? Of like 20 houses or something like that. Their house is not on the corner. Not only is that gated, but when you get up to Tony Huge's crib, it's another keypad and entry to get in that gate. It's a wall where you have to drive in. It's a very high wall, like 12 feet, to where you can't just jump over and see in. So you need to get into this gated community, and then you need to drive around, and then Tony's house is next to other houses that have the same fence. You cannot get into Tony's house unless you're already there. I have solved this murder, I'm sorry, to a T. Leo and God and other people that have given information, pertinent information, have helped solve this crime. But I started to really dive into the nuance. There's nobody that could have gotten into Tony Huge's house, a gated community inside of a gated community. And Connor's nowhere. They won't mention Connor's name at all, that he was even there at all. He was in the same house that night. Ask Tony. John, if you have the balls to do it, ask Tony, well, hey, was Connor there the night that Leo died? You will never ask him that question because you're a clown. You are not a real journalist. You are there to milk Tony Huge and get whatever monetary gain you can get. Oh, I'm his friend. Yeah, I know you were his friend, so you are going to do some friendly gestures, but you want to stay at arm's reach. You're not in arm's reach. You are a conspirator to murder. And Connor Murphy, this is the voice that he doesn't want to hear because I speak the truth. And I know that this is a war between good and evil. So when I talk, it's not about me versus him. It's about good versus evil. Because this man is evil. The woman that everyone is saying that Leo supposedly choked. No, they were having sex and she's a prissy bitch. Look, she's a little prissy bitch and can't handle a little bit of rough sex. Let's keep it 100. You're a prissy bitch. You're a I pay for play bitch. And you couldn't handle Leo and longevity getting a little bit handsy with you during sex. But guess what? The man that did it has literally taken over her Instagram. You guys are clueless, man. I solved this shit a long time ago. And it's funny as fuck that John could come in and say, well, I'm not giving these guys any clout. Man, we've already solved this shit. Look, he puts his shirt up and it's in the scar that he's created is in the shape of an L. It's all subliminal, man. I don't even like going back through this rabbit hole because it pisses me off. It really does piss me off because they think they're at a point now where they can taunt the fact that he's dead. And so I love the fact that we can make these videos and John Bravo's over here like, well, I kind of still think that he might be telling me something that he's hiding something he's not telling me. But this is what I said first. You never said it was a killing, fool. You said that it was Lucy that first came out with that information, and I've even shown you. I've broken down that the impact strikes in Leo's head. I did the dimensions of a club. Leo is the one. I'm sorry, Connor's the one that uses the 5-iron. This is Connor's favorite club. See that? He loves that. That's his club. So the strikes in the side of Leo's head. I did the dimensions of that club using Apple and in the measurement tool. Those strikes in the side of his skull are the same size as the impact points of a 5-iron. I've done so much research on this. I would beat John Bravo's ass if I saw him in person for the shit that he's talking, bro. Because this is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. This wasn't overnight, man. He's taken over her fucking Instagram. Oh, you guys want to know something else? You see these flowers? I also proved that these flowers were given on July 31st. the 6-month anniversary of Leo's death. And you're telling me I don't know what I'm talking about? Tana, Lucy, these flowers need to go to you. These flowers need to go to Lath's child. You see that? Penis enlargement YouTuber Leo Rex found dead in Thai mystery. 31st. There are no coincidences in life. They got away with it, so why not get her some flowers on the 6-month anniversary of them committing a crime together? Look at this. Look. I'll do you one better. Because these little women out there, you know, women can't stop and wait and not post on social media. We have July, August, September, October, November, December. This is Foxy's page now. This is Tony's main bitch in the harem. So what happens when Leo and Longevity gets murdered on January 31st of 2023? And we don't see any activity on Foxy's page until April 3rd of 2023. And I just showed you this woman posts every month, at least once a month. But when we get to December, he dies in January, and we don't get a post from a woman that uses social media very frequently until April. Come on, guys. Like, come on, man. It took 3 months, 4 months, but they had to go underground. They had to go incognito. And then in April, 3-4 months after it all kind of dies down, they can start posting on Instagram again. Wake up. Watch. I'll give you 2 more. How about 2 more? Look at this. Look at this. Who are they taking a photo with? It's the killer with the clueless girl that was getting choked during sex. Oh, the sex was just a little bit too rough. And the man they bring into the picture that is a cosplay version of Leo and Longevity. He's obsessed. And last but not least,
Spilled milk. Fairy, have you heard the saying, don't cry over spilled milk? You just made me too excited, Fairy, I don't know what to say. You just got the new boobs and, Anyway, can you please clean up the milk? But not with the mop, of course,
Can you show me how to do?
If I show you how to do, will you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I say I'm do.
Yeah, so this is what I want you to do, Fairy, okay? I want you to get on your knees. This is harder for me because I have Osgood Slaughter's disease. I want you to bend down like this. I want you to act like a cat.
you see how funny it is to this guy. You see that? Do you guys see that? I want you guys to notice how funny this is to this guy. And he's going to be mad because I've deciphered the whole play. The milk and why it's coming out from under the fridge like that. It goes to the same point that I've been telling you guys, that the blood, Leo's blood underneath the door, is the reason why it started spilling out from underneath the door. So you think that you really, okay, he might know what's going on. No. He's giving us clues. He's showing us. Just pay attention. The milk coming from up underneath the fridge is subliminal. It was the reason why they pulled Leo's body from outside, because his blood was coming from up underneath the door, and they had to pull his body out and clean up all that blood, because this is not a manic episode. This is now a murder. And then they put his body back inside, face down. Okay, so just so you know how psycho this motherfucker is, in the symbolism of it all, he is slurping up Leo's blood in this little reenactment here. I want you guys to know he's reenacting him slurping up the quote-unquote milk, but it's technically Leo's blood that is leaking from underneath the door. Let's not sugarcoat how sinister and evil this man really is. Connor Murphy is the reincarnation of the devil. Are you coming along with me? Or are you still skeptical? Let's go. I don't know what... He says, okay, right here he says, Osgood Slaughter's disease. And I'm like, Connor, do you realize that's not all you have? And I want to point out one more thing. And I was going to make another video about this, but I'll freeze it right there. You see that? Right there. You guys didn't see it. We haven't made a video on it. I was going to make a separate video, but when I'm titling this, the full breakdown of Leo and longevity, I'll give it to you guys now. Do you know what we're looking at? Look at the capsulated shoulder of Connor Murphy. Do you see that? Trigger warning, please. There's scarring, and it looks like claw marks on Connor Murphy's shoulder. Let me go ahead and zoom in here, okay? You see that? Do you want to know why he has marks on this cap of this shoulder? Let's go just to the first video. Let's go to this video. And we'll pause right here. Okay? So as he's hitting Leo and longevity with the club, it's on that side. So let's twist the body and think about Leo facing him. He's going to be reaching out with his left arm. Reaching out and clawing his arm to try to stop Connor Murphy from hitting him with a golf club. And those are the claw marks and the scars. And those are the, what do they call it? Defense wounds. But the offensive wounds, offensive of the defense wounds that Connor Murphy is showing that implicates him and should show you that he was 100% the one that committed this crime.
This is why you can't look as good as me. You can't handle the pain.
Sorry, Connor. I also use the microderma needle as well. You're using it just a little too hard. Just a little too hard. But I like the pain of the microderma needle as well in my face. So this isn't anything special, buddy.
You know, this mallet may just be my favorite tool. My second favorite tool. You know, I can do a lot with this mallet. I can use it to pound. You know how I like to pound.
Look at this clown.
Just be my Can you guess what that is? There is absolutely no one on the planet who has a gut microbiome more diverse than me. Did I gift them to myself? Or was I lucky enough to find a girl almost as crazy as me? You know, some people see jealousy as a flaw. Not me. I love passion. You know, each scar tells a story that I
do love these scars. They make my body more fascinating. I'd like to know how I got these scars. Did I gift them to myself? Tell us more of the murder mystery. So when this video comes out, there will be no more mystery to solve. There will be no more mystery to uncover, because if it says, if you like a good murder mystery or dangerously untamed naked man, you're in the right place. So he's going to come over to this spot and give us more clues about how he killed Leo. You don't have to give us any more clues, man. We already solved this shit. And I'm pointing out the scars that he's pointing out to y'all. This came out yesterday. I've been working on this video now for 3 days. And he has to put this out because he sees that I've tagged on my YouTube channel that will be releasing information about Connor Murphy that no one knows. And so he knows that I've already put the pieces together. So now he wants to reveal more information on his own. No, we've already put these pieces together. And once I reveal it to the masses, they'll know who you really are, man. This is no murder mystery. It's already been solved. Some people see jealousy as a flaw. Not me. Connor, I know you don't see jealousy as a flaw, chump. I'm pointing out that you are so jealous over Leo and longevity that's why you whacked the boy. I'm proving this in real time because you just mentioned jealousy. And this came out 2 days ago. I made that point and I made that connection that you have a hard on for this man Leo, and Ben had a hard on days ago before you just revealed it to everybody else that you said, oh, jealousy is not a trait that I see as a bad one. Well, yeah, it was, because you committed a crime based on jealousy. Don't ever question my knowledge or my wherewithal to seek the truth and to seek answers. So let's go back to the 6-month anniversary flowers. People used to ask, what do I want to be when you grow up? I want to be your monkey. So people want to ask how the toilet got dislodged. Well, it's very simple. Her and Connor Murphy were jumping around like a monkey in that bathroom, trying to find the right angle to do what they did with those golf clubs. It's long live Leo and longevity. But if you're not here with me, if you're not following here with me, then you're clueless. Because I'm so empathetic, because I put myself in Leo's shoes. I carry his torch because he touched me. He helped me. He showed me this biohacking. Tony Huge and Vigorous Steve, Boston Lloyd, they are half of what Leo and longevity. Guru Amin, they are half of the man Leo and longevity was. But I wasn't into the medical side of things until I heard about Leo. And then I said, okay, I'm diving into these medical journals. He was a mastermind. They can take his name all he wants. Guru Amin has someone die off of his protocol. So what the fuck are we talking about? Guru Amin don't like him as tainting his name. You had someone die off of your protocol, buddy. No one realized, and Leo called it out. Buddy, you had somebody die over your protocol. What the fuck are we talking about? And Guru Amin wants to flip the narrative like, oh, Leo was doing this and doing that. He didn't kill nobody. Do you realize that Lucy and Leo, if you look at their text thread, he was begging to leave Thailand. They were getting back together. He don't want no fucking harem. He don't want to try to fuck multiple women and do all that. He don't care about that. The Leo and longevity light, the animated light that they were going to put behind the backdrop, was delivered in a box, waiting to be opened by Leo the day before he died. He never even got to open the box and put the Leo and Longevity logo behind him so he can make videos. That shit's sad as fuck. That shit terrible, bruh. I'm not even gonna lie, man. That shit is crazy. And there's videos out there, I'm not gonna post them, of Tony Hughes opening up the box and putting it up and then making some videos with that lion in the backdrop. Tony, you're a clown. Might have been involved because we're going to dive into the nuance of the skyscraper and the guy that conveniently had to jump to his own death because you were having to testify in front of a grand jury about a supplement company that could have sent you to prison for decades. But that man jumped out of a burning building to his death. You don't feel like we should go and investigate that? Bro, the pressure is already on, G. The pressure is already on. The heat is already on, buddy. This ain't me. This is God's work. So let's continue to let God work. He didn't choke the woman. They were having rough sex. They were having a rough experience. Kenneth got turned off by something Leo did in the bedroom. And that's when she ran out. So this whole narrative that he's choking women and all that, it's false. It was a sexual experience from a woman that Foxy brought over. That's Tony's main bitch in the harem. You can downplay what my knowledge is, Tony, John, but it's fully factual because this is hours, this is days of research on shit that I should know nothing about, but I just felt a vision and a calling to do this because it's very, very fucked up, John, that your career, once Leo and Longevity's case is solved, your YouTube career is over. If we logically deduce facts, we can understand that if Tony doesn't try to implement this stupid harem lifestyle and Foxy doesn't bring Canatha over, Leo and Longevity doesn't die. You let the man do his research. You get the man some drinks, some Gatorades. You get him some hydration, some fluids. You leave him the fuck alone and let him do his fucking research. Leo and Longevity doesn't die if Tony doesn't bring one of his hoes over that has a friend of one of his hoes. Leo doesn't die. Can we logically deduce those facts? Yes, he wouldn't have died. Or Tony, do we understand that you're a lawyer and you need to protect every angle and you want Connor to come in, but you're tired of Leo. You're tired of it. He was airing out that fact that you have a sex doll. He put on your story that you use a sex doll. When you're horny and you don't want to fuck those girls in the harem, you get off to a sex doll. So Connor comes in. You know how Leo gets with the women. Sometimes he wants to play in a little bit handsy, and you say, okay, go in there. Start it. Start it. Okay, once he starts to once you get on top and you know he likes to do this, run out the room. Run out to me. Connor goes in with her, and it's a reason to get rid of Leo. Tony Huge, you do this. Yeah, I'm wiping my hands clean of the individual that you wanted out of there, but you didn't want to be involved. So you let the crazy man handle it for you. And what did you do in return? You promised him content. You promised him an Enhanced Labs sponsorship. You were promised him half of the residuals from all the content that you do. And everybody else that is in your circle, they see the dollar signs. And so they go along with this intricate plan. So Tony, until you provide the evidence that there was somebody else in your home, I'm willing to believe that Connor and Canatha, they had a little plan. Canatha went back in and actually seduced him and they were actually engaging in sex. And Connor comes in while they're actually engaging in sex. And that's when he initiates the golf club because as we know in the crime scene photos, Leo was caught with his pants down. His pants were off. So was it more sinister than we actually want to believe that Kanatha was in there? They actually went back to engage in sex, and Connor said, go back and start having sex with him. And when you do, I'll get him when he's least expecting it. When he's actually in a romantic experience with another woman, I'm going to come in and I'll start it off with the golf club and we'll get him that way. Because as we know, Leo didn't have his pants on. So I'm willing to believe now that he was actually engaging in sex when this all happened. Your YouTube career, your whole entire online footprint will be over for sticking up for your man, Tony Hughes. So you will watch my video because you will be in my title. I don't care if I lose subs. I don't care if I go down to 1 sub after I make this video. Because John, simply when you get to a certain level, you bring up metrics. Because that's what makes the information less relevant, right? Yeah, no, it's a fallacy. The message is the message, regardless of how many people view it. It's not even my data that got to John. It was somebody that was analyzing my data that finally got to John, that finally got it out. When I heard John Bravo say it was the clubhead strikes and then the crime scene, I literally started crying and thought about Tana and thought about Leo and then Lucy and the whole picture. Like, bro, that's a sinister act. That's a very sinister act. There's multiple clubs. So John, you watched a video of a video. You didn't even get to see my video where I don't use conjecture. I don't use terminology for clicks and views. I do actual due diligence and investigation. As you can see here, we're talking about sinister acts. Let's talk about more of Connor Murphy and why I know for a fact this was all him and he was involved. I've been following this man for a long time. Look in May when they actually think that they're in the clear, he can actually start mocking Leo and Leo's wife and creating a sex doll and fucking a sex doll. Watch me, Leo, punish that dirty little French whore Lucy for putting the milk in front of the fridge. We all know the story of Leo. Lucy, I know you're watching this. In fact, this video was created with you in mind. If you watch my Leo content with an open mind, well, I'd be a lion if I told you I knew your destiny. So the theory that I just proposed a few minutes ago, that Connor and Kanatha initiate the murder of Leo and Longevity during a sex act, it all comes full circle when Connor Murphy wants to initiate a sex act as Leo, but now he's framing it like he's effing Leo's wife. That doesn't seem very far-fetched now, does it? I know the laws. Since his content's not behind a paywall, you see that? Since your content, Connor, I'm also a lawyer, so I know that since your content is not behind a paywall, bitch, then I'm not going to get exploited unless I unlock this and I show people that content. Yes, I know the laws inside and out. And I know you'll never come to the US, pussy. Don't ever think that you do any kind of journalism like I do, sir. John Bravo, you've got a good hairline based on a few hair transplants and some muscles that you earned off of TRT and HGH. You're not even natural, pussy. You didn't get any of that muscle on your own. I don't want to hear anything about clicks and views, and you didn't even see my content, but you will see this video. You're not on my level, sir. Step your fucking game up. I don't care that you got a camera that moves by itself. You don't do any kind of independent journalism. You are a shitty journalist. For instance, John Bravo does a YouTube video when this stuff first started rolling out with the golf club and the Connor Murphy golf club incident when he went psycho and then had to reenact or make it look like it was fake, but then he had to throw stuff around the house because he went psycho and then had to cover up the fact that he went psycho, and then now is trying to blame it on the Thai girl. when John Bravo did his due diligence, he came to this Kenosis channel and the Leaks channel, right? Conor Murphy Leaks. But he didn't actually go in and click some of these shorts and see what was being stated and see the framing of the channel. Like, look at this.
Who am I? That's a question you should be asking yourself, for you cannot know me without understanding who you truly are. I am the best friend of Conor Murphy's worst enemy, which makes me Conor's best friend, for Conor's only enemy is himself. But for now,
John fucking Bravo, you should have stayed out of this fucking situation. You can't even come to this conclusion and say stuff about Conor Murphy and make videos and not even click on the first video that's being made and see that he's making fun of Leo and longevity, you bitch. You should have stayed out of this. You're covering for Tony Huge. Best friend of Conor Murphy's worst enemy. So it's yourself. He's actually showing you that he hates this man. Because it's technically Leo and longevity. Do y'all get it? He hates this man. I am doing real due diligence, real journalism. While John Bravo doesn't want to be philosophical, he doesn't want to go down rabbit holes. He just wants to get the information sent to him through fax. And then he wants a big bag to hit his account. He doesn't care. I'll go through and look at these comments to see if we can get any clues from maybe even Conor actually went in and put a little clue in some of the comments on a dummy page. That's what I do. That's what I do. I just watched this again and it clicked. And this is the thing is, if John Bravo doesn't go in and click some of these videos, he doesn't see that all this ties together. Like the fact that in this video, boom. So, and see what's the craziest part about these videos is that if John Bravo were to actually, and here's what I'm talking about with when we get to this part in the video. This is what I'm talking about. I want to stop really quick. And when I told you guys about the gated community and that there's a house, then a fence, and a house, and a fence, and a house, and a fence. Okay, there's a roundabout with 20 houses. These are similar to the location at Tony's house. The fence is higher. There's a house on one side, house on the other. It's fully fenced in with foliage, everything, and then the house, and then the fence for the driveway structure area is taller. So it's going to be at least eye level or higher, and it's basically a complete structure that is bound by houses on both sides and a full fence. So unless you're part of that gated community to get in, and then the gated community to get into Tony's house, you're not getting in here. Okay? You can't get in here. And John Bravo doesn't want to jump into the nuance. This is the nuance, guys. Do you see anything different, anything odd about this reenactment of the masked assassin that attacks Conor Murphy as a play, as a joke? It's all a joke. It's all a play. Yes. What Conor Murphy has in his hand is the 5-iron with the ripped off club head. And you guys want to know something else? We'll dive into more nuance. Forget it. Do you see that club? Do you see that club that they're actually using to reenact this masked assassin? Yeah. I want you guys to know that it was Tony Huge that gave us... It was Tony Huge that gave us, because as you can see here, look, Tony Huge, he puts up a post after Leo dies and tries to explain himself with, we can't figure out what happened. It's very strange. It looks like he removed the toilet and was trying to get something from under the toilet. He locked himself in the bathroom and ripped the door handle off from the inside. No, that was Conor. It's just not physically possible. It's just not physically possible that there was any other individuals involved, as the door was closed from the inside and locked, and then the inner door handle ripped off and body blocking the door. So not possible. Someone could get in or out. And it certainly wasn't a heart attack or some sudden thing, because I heard a noise from downstairs for like 15 minutes sounding like he was moving furniture, but now I see it was the toilet being moved around. The only explanation is manic episode. You ready to have just a couple holes punched in Tony Huge's theory? Because now that I read this again and I'm making this video, it's 100% Tony's involved. He's not oblivious to this. Tony, I could rip the door handle off. I could clean the other side of the door handle, and I can close the door. I've asked this in many other videos. If he rips the door handle off from the inside, why isn't the door handle in the restroom? There is no evidence that there was a door handle recovered. Yeah, Tony's actually implicated and involved. Obviously, we know this, but he wants to wipe his hands clean. He was probably the one that wiped the other side of the door handle when they ripped it off and closed the door. But they didn't do that until the second time they put him back into the restroom. They had to pull him out because they didn't think there would be that much blood leaking from underneath the door. So guess what? They pull him out. The door handle doesn't get ripped off until the second time through. Because when they see the blood start to leak from inside of the bathroom out, they freak out because that could no longer be a manic episode where you have that much blood leaking. That's a murder. So they clean up the blood. They put him back in. And then they say, okay, we have way too much DNA here. Locked himself in the bathroom and ripped the door handle off from the inside. Well, where was the door handle? It was not recovered. Just like his glasses. Connor?
Blood. Sometimes it sets my teeth on edge. Other times it helps me control the chaos.
I jumped out of the window because because Tony Hughes was about to testify in front of a grand jury with this guy. And so I believe before that guy was able to testify, he died. And if I put a side by side, and I'll do that in another video, that guy's death, Tony Hughes has a similar picture of the fire going off in the building, and then a synopsis at the bottom, identical to this. It looked just like this. We all make patterns, and we all have patterns in life, guys. We all do it. Why is Tony Hughes pointing his finger, covering something that is under the sink? It's like if you're pointing, you're not going to do it to where you're blocking. You know what I'm saying? He's blocking something from view underneath these towels. So, Tony, you are going to jail, man. You are going to prison. And it's going to be a Thai prison. And they were saying, just like Guru Amin, I'm going to ruin some of the parts of the video. Guru Amin was begging Tony Hughes to leave Thailand. He was begging Tony to leave. I can't wait to put that video out. It will solve so much. He was begging Tony to leave because they don't have a bond system. And so he's like, get out of there. Tony had revealed some things to Guru Amin, and Guru Amin doesn't have the same poker face as these guys that are trying to show their poker face. You see how Tony's pointing, but conveniently blocking something from being seen under the sink. Yeah, we are dabbling in nuance, Tony. You're hiding something. So if you can correlate patterns and you know, okay, well, this is how this guy died, and then Tony did a quick video to start to cover his tracks. What Tony doesn't realize is the second time he does it, he completely opens the door and then he leaves what I like to call my calling card. This is what solved us the murder. The two big holes, and then there's that metal piece, and then there's diagonal holes on each side. It's 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. So we go back, say that that's not a 5-iron, right? They want to try so hard to say that is not that. They want to say that is not that. What do you think? So I stumble upon this old John Bravo video. I want to include it in this video to show how implicated John Bravo really is. This is his interpretation of the facts when Leo and Longevity gets in a spat with Guru Amin, Boston Lloyd. They're all fighting, Tony Hughes, when Leo and Longevity was alive. And watch how he frames these videos and this video here versus when after Leo and Longevity dies, how he tries to protect Tony Hughes. His whole journalistic integrity is gone based on his friendship with Tony Hughes.
This was a video that I honestly didn't feel like I was going to make. And there's a lot of reasons as to why I wasn't going to make it. But never have I had this many people ask me about my opinion on the situation with Leo. And for you guys that don't know, okay, the situation, there's a ton of, information already out there. You guys can look it up. I'm not going to go into the details of it in this video. But I wasn't going to give my opinion on this. And the reason why, mainly, was because I'm friends with Leo, right? And I'm also friends with a lot of people in that same circle. But the issue is, a lot of people in that circle have problems with each other. So any opinion that I'm going to give, they're going to think that I was biased towards him, which is what I didn't want. So I didn't want to make a video on it. But I feel like I have things that are valuable to say about the situation. So that's why I had a change in my heart to make this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend I don't know Leo. I don't know anyone involved in the situation. And I'm going to give my opinion from the outside on what I feel is going on. And when you look at this, right, I don't believe that personal shit like this should be online. But this is the thing, man.
Do you see now how, John, you used to be a great journalist? I agree. You used to be a great journalist. So I'm not going to shit on you the whole video because of Tony Hughes. Do you see how this man is not the same person? This is not the same objective John Bravo. Now, is it? John, you are implicated in now a crime, a murder. You should have stayed objective. What happened? You should have done that in this case. You made 5 or 6 videos on this incident, and you should have kept this stance. I'm going to let it pause right here because I want John Bravo to reflect on the old John Bravo, the old style with no mic, without the Elvis Presley mic. You aren't the same man anymore, sir. You've been corrupted by Tony Hughes. And if I were a real journalist and I were in this predicament, I would have the integrity to say, I have to step away from this topic. Like, Tony, you are my boy. I can't do it because it puts my journalistic integrity and what I'm about, my lifestyle, in jeopardy. And Connor Murphy, if you don't realize how human nature works, this man has gone into Leo's body after he has taken his soul and fucked his wife. If anyone wants to dispute what I'm actually saying, you can do that. But he's a sinister individual. He is the reincarnation of the devil. This man went and fucked a sex doll and came in the doll thinking that he is Leo in longevity and came inside Leo's wife. So if you look up to Connor Murphy, if you have any respect for Connor Murphy, this video should show you he is the reincarnation of the devil.
Heard the saying, don't cry over spilled milk? You just made me too excited, Fairy, and I don't know what to say. You just got the new boobs and,
Wait. Hold
Anyway,
on. We stopping right there because I keep bringing up John Bravo because his career is over because of Tony Hughes and because of the fact that he wanted to stick his neck out for his boy, but all his boy got is his cock out for him. Because your career is over, John. Because once Tony Hughes and Connor go down, you're going down. You're going down. And I find it ironic that John thinks he has journalistic integrity, but does not even have the intellectual fluidity to understand Connor Murphy like I do. He went in and is trying to get paid for fucking a sex doll that he wants to think is Lucy. because he's so down bad that he bought fake tits for a sex worker that he potentially is going to marry that Leo has already fucked. Let that sink in. Yes, I am that deep. We are getting that deep. And there is so much deep symbolism here that I realize that Connor knows that he has, yeah, Leo's also fucked your wife too, buddy. Don't ever forget that, Connor. You bought fake tits for a sex worker. You're down bad. Hi, Connor. It's great to talk to you again. I've taken 2 individuals out of a cult that was ran by Connor Murphy. I feel very confident and happy about that. Andy Hartman. Harshman, or is it Hartman? I know you watch anything Connor Murphy related. You're like his number one tool, you know, his little minion. He's been manipulated. I know Connor knows Andy. Andy is one of his cult leaders that gets all other boys into his cult. Andy, what's up, man? Yeah, here he is. What's up, Andrew? Let's take a look. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see if you got any. Hold on. Yeah, Andy, you gonna make my video too. The Rising King. St. Andrew the Prophet. So I want you guys to understand this gentleman here sees Connor Murphy as an idol, a false idol, as a prophet, as his king. I can show you guys so much about what I've learned over the years about Connor Murphy, and Connor Murphy's going to know that I am somebody that is, what's Leo's favorite word? The antithesis of Connor Murphy. Been doing my due diligence for a while. So when Connor watches my video and I show him this individual here and he starts watching this video, he's going to know that I followed this man and I know a lot about what I know. I know a lot about what I know. So let's not get it fucked up that I haven't been here and I'm here for a reason. This is good versus evil. I tried to get you out of his cult. It didn't work. You tried to manipulate my mind. I let you run with it so I could learn about the policies and procedures and how you actually go about what you do. I learned a lot from you. Thank you. But you're not smart enough to manipulate me. But you've manipulated other boys with that rhetoric. So, John, I've infiltrated Connor's cult. I've taken 2 members out. And I've showed you right now that he's actually trying to become Leo in longevity and is nutting in OnlyFans videos as Leo. And you say that I don't do any due diligence? This man is mocking his wife, Leo, the lion, and fucking his wife virtually or through this doll after killing the man. What with you on to do this? If you guys don't believe in good versus evil, you don't think he's taunting Jesus or taunting God or taunting the whole religious ideology of good and evil by charging the amount of money of the same price of Jesus when he died? Or am I just really thinking into it too much? Or am I really thinking about, okay, yes, Jesus died at 33 years old. Connor Murphy's charging $33 in, you know, for a video of the man that he killed, and he hates Christ because he's the Antichrist. And no, maybe I am thinking too much into it. Or maybe John Bravo has the journalistic integrity to do his research on videos. And John, you don't have half of the mental capacity of anyone that does any real due diligence. So don't even ever think that you're on the level of someone who actually does this homework. He's charging $33, the same amount of money as the age of Jesus when he died on the cross. Let that sink in. Leo, the premonition he made, he basically said this man is going to go manic if he actually takes a hero's dose of hallucinogenic substances. It could make him go manic. Connor said, fuck that. I don't care. I'm going to go on my experience, how I go about it. And he's never been the same. So Leo has predicted Connor's fate. And it will haunt him because Leo was a mastermind. So you're telling me that this doesn't irk him to the core, that it actually came to truth, that what Leo said was facts? He predicted it. He predicted it. He was a genius. Leo Rex, Leo and longevity.
You keep taking mushrooms or LSD at a low dose, you will increase neurogenesis and you will increase dopamine. I believe that doing this for a long period could potentially put you in danger if you're susceptible to it. I believe what's much safer is using a slightly higher dose rarely. So what I'm talking about is not the hero's dose of golden teacher mushrooms, which most people use 4 to 5 grams, but rather something between 500 milligrams to 800 milligrams. I believe this could be interesting. It's fun. It's like going with some people to the pub and having a couple of beers. You feel the serotonin signaling, you get a bit of dopamine transmission, you get a little bit of visual effects, but it's not too intense. If you do this rarely, I believe this would probably be the safest approach. I don't think it's ever safe to do a hero's dose. Almost everybody, you can't really be sure. So a hero's dose could destroy you. I highly doubt that a 500 to 800 milligram single dose could. So that's just a personal opinion, be careful. Something else I got asked about a lot was whether SSRIs can cause the same problems. A couple of people mentioned that when they began their SSRI medications, they ended up manic. Now I want to tell you guys that the reason that happened to you is not your fault. It's your psychiatrist's fault. There was no reason for that to happen.
This is at the height of his ayahuasca trip. This is at the height of his insanity.
You might have a young impressionable audience or like young fans who might try and replicate the things you're doing or the stuff you're doing on social
Lord,
media.
I am praying that every single person replicates me exactly, because I am the Messiah. I am doing everything in absolute perfect order. See, can you hear? Okay.
First, you gotta suffer. You gotta get rid of the stimulation, right? And you gotta be one with the universe. But then you get to enjoy life. So you meditate, you work hard, and then you enjoy the results. So it's a combination of high stimulation, low stimulation. It's not either or. So if anyone tells you that anything is correct, it is wrong. It's either or. It's both. You want to do both. You want to do everything. Oh man, that is good. So essentially, why she woke up is because I was trying to fuck her asshole because it started, right? So you gotta like loosen it up first.
Through my dick. Because who is your mom? Her name? Katie. Katie. Those are my girlfriends. I got Katie Smithson, Kaylee. I like the K words. KKK. Blah blah. Like the KY jelly. KY jelly. Hey. Exactly. So I like escorts. Okay, so they can like, you know what I mean? Like I can always experience people. Does that make sense? So I'm walking through life, right? And I'm experiencing other people as I walk through life. It's pretty cool. Okay, so you're giving me how much?
That's your change, so I'm not gonna keep it.
So cool. So it's, in some ways I like obey and sometimes I don't.
$12.94, babe.
Okay, so $12.94. Essentially, I'm not paying for anything because like you're in my cult. So like, you know what I'm saying? So it's $13. Exactly. So you buy the unlucky number. Does that make sense?
Could you put some of that towards my gas?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here, I'll pay for his gas. Actually, no. So we're not. Essentially, thank you. We're gonna make white people slaves. Like, duh. It's equality. That's what equality is. Like, what the fuck? We're gonna make white people slaves. All the white people are gonna be enslaved.
And it will haunt Connor because he cannot come back from this. It wasn't a good experience. He didn't need to do the ayahuasca for as many days. The amount of dosage, it has tweaked his brain. Leo was 100% right. John Bravo, you could never be on my level. I don't need 80,000 subs. I do my homework, sir. I cry because I feel emotion. I feel pain. Something that the individuals don't even feel that committed the fucking crime. Empathy, all these emotions I feel are the reasons why I'm able to help Leo and Longevity's torch shine and continue, and for this case to be brought to justice. And you talking about this is a conspiracy theory? It is a mid-range club and a 5-iron. It gives you the perfect triangle. So John, I'm so motivated now because it takes 5 months for it to get circulated. That means it's circulating in Thailand. So you guys ready for the quick synopsis? Here's the timeline from where Tony and John Bravo leave off. Kanatha comes out the room after talking to Foxy and putting on a good face. She goes over to Connor that's literally just dropped his bags. Hypothetically, he got in the day before, and she propositions Connor and says, I don't like this motherfucker because he just got handsy with me during fun time. Connor understands that everything that Leo in Longevity has been known for, and his voice was getting so popular, him and Boston Lloyd, those podcasts with him, Vigorous Steve, Boston Lloyd, Tony Huge, Tony was really in the background. Leo had the strongest voice in the crew. Leo was blatantly saying online, like, Connor's he's gonna make himself crazy. And it goes directly against what Connor actually believes in. So Kenneth gets Connor to do what needs to be done in their mind. And Tony might be in the bottom and, with the other guys downstairs, and they hear what's going on and they don't actually witness it. Connor kills for Kenneth on a Friday. They go shooting. Vigorous Steve, Straight Cody, Tony Huge, they all wear red shirts. They're all wearing red, symbolic. Connor Murphy, having fun for the weekend. While Leo's body lays lifeless in that bathroom, they left knowing he was dead. The reason they fuck up is because they come back into town and Connor goes back in with the clubs, or they don't leave that night, but when they come back, they leave Leo's body, but when they go back, that coagulated blood on the laminate flooring, it weaks the laminate flooring, so it's like clay. So when they use those club head strikes, and you see those club head strikes in the laminate flooring, it's because they've came back after hours of the body, of the coagulated blood laying there, and they whack at it again. And that's what leaves the indentation marks that deep in the laminate flooring. Connor Murphy, you got a sex worker from Pattaya, Thailand, to kill a potential business partner, somebody that could have been your best friend down the line. You were so jealous and are still so jealous of this man that you killed this man because he predicted your fate and you did go crazy. He goes against everything you believe in. After you get rid of him, you and Tony Huge do all kinds of content. Tony Huge is the bag. So it's not a coincidence that they get rid of Leo and then they go on to create content. The same thing. I'll ruin a little bit more of the Guru Amin video. The same thing that Guru Amin says that Leo wanted to do to Connor. Actually, Connor's the one that did it to Leo to get him out of the way so him and Tony could do content. And the irony of all this is Tony Huge did not take the videos down on his main channel. He went in and did Ladyboy content and was injecting steroids into Ladyboys. Oh yeah, that'll get your page clipped. So instead of giving it away and taking the videos down, he does something and puts it in a video and puts it out to the masses that's going to get his channel terminated. Oh, I couldn't save the videos. I don't know what happened in those response videos. My channel got taken down. It got terminated. Why did it get terminated, Tony? You purposely injected Ladyboys with steroids and put it on YouTube so your channel can get purposely clipped. I told you he's a mastermind. He's got the Tony Huge muscle building, the Tony Huge fat loss. Tony Huge and Connor are marketing and social media geniuses when it comes to the algorithm. They can flood it like it's 1984 with fake content and almost make it real. That's why when I made my video on Enhanced and all those reviews, those sites where it showed all those negative reviews, they got them pulled after my video was up. Connor and Tony purposely did the Ladyboy content so they could scrub all the Leo and Longevity content, all that content that was on Tony's channel that could have implicated them in crimes. They injected Ladyboys with steroids so they can clipped, and it absolves them of ever doing anything that could have incriminated them. But that doesn't absolve them of the fact that when you watch the first video of the clubs, when Connor went crazy with the club, and you see Foxy talking to Connor, you could tell there's some sort of bond between that Thai woman and Connor because he killed for the Thai woman He killed Leo for the Thai woman, so there's some sort of bond right there, that they're all bonded because of that event. And why this is a perfect time to go ahead and just do a quick synopsis on this whole timeline to show you that my knowledge is not fabricated or to get YouTube clicks and views. This is a long time coming. Go watch my past videos. I show the correlation between the timeline of the murder and events and the fact that the murder itself brought the murder and the reason for the murder. It was like Connor murdered for the woman, that it brought them together in some sort of romantic way, and they're tied together, and they just made... Go look at Connor Murphy's recent story. They're at some sort of Thai fair together, going and buying stuffed animals. Yes, Connor Murphy has pretty much married the woman that he killed for. And it made them fall in love. So it's some sick love story that they are going to continue to live out until Kanatha skips town from getting $50,000 in a bag out of Tony Huge, and Connor Murphy gets locked up for the death and the killing and the murder of Leo Longevity. And John Bravo goes down within the conspiracy to commit murder of Leo Longevity, and so does Adam Judd. Adam Judd and John Bravo are one and the same. They are perpetuating false news to the masses to cover up a murder. Hi, John Bravo. Yes, I'm talking to you. You are implicated in the conspiracy and cover-up in the murder of Leo Longevity. Please also go back and watch my additional videos. I did a video on John Bravo, how he actually modified security camera footage to block out and hide certain things when Connor Murphy went manic. He actually loops over video, and he's modified video and shot it out to the masses like this is what happened. Covered up for Connor Murphy, not even Tony Huge. He took out snippets. He took out parts of video, security video, and looped it over and tried to make it seem like it was one concurrent video. I have videos where John has edited video of Connor going crazy. Jonathan, Bravateer. Like I said earlier in the video, I am pretty proficient and I know the law. So does Tony Huge. He's a lawyer, right? So if we really dive into the nuance, if you would have reported the news, if you would have reported your opinion on the news, you are not tied into the conspiracy. But once you modify factual data or footage and you put it out to manipulate the narrative, and you've actually skewed what the actual facts are, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, sir. You are implicated in the conspiracy.
By using the most unassuming weapon, a golf club.
You see that, John? You see that? You shouldn't have tampered with real life footage and left it alone. You tampered with real life footage, modified it, skewed the narrative, and is trying to hide the truth from the masses. Once we get that security footage unedited, you're fucked. You are now in a conspiracy to commit murder and murder one. You have now tied yourself into the conspiracy. I would back off, or I would make a video saying that you and Tony Huge aren't friends anymore. It's to that point now, sir. Because these little 9-minute videos, I'm pumping out an hour. I could give you another hour. I have more information. I could really make this funny and cool and overlay footage and all that like you do. No. I'm going to give you a lot of facts. You have implicated yourself in the conspiracy. I'm giving you 50. You gave us 9. And you have 80,000 subs. You're lazy. Hi, John. Yeah, I have you actually editing footage that would implicate Connor in the murder. Adam Judd, the journalist I'm talking about in Pattaya, they got a news article out quicker than they could in the U.S., quicker than they could. That said, the article that Adam Judd put out said the U.S. Embassy was already involved. How? I can show you where Lucy says the U.S. Embassy has not even been contacted. So I'm showing you detailed and thorough evidence that Tony Huge got Adam Judd there, wanted the U.S. authorities to, quote, seemed like they were already involved. I want you guys to understand there's some weird shit going on to where even using the Wayback When machine, this original article is being updated and changed all the way up until April 16th of 2024. This is a buggy website, so you're not going to be able to see it. But if we go all the way down here to the end, Adam Judd is taking out his personal email and plugging in some sort of dummy email here at the end. So you cannot contact Adam Judd by his personal email anymore. Yellow indicates a content deletion. Blue indicates content addition. So he's taking out his email, his personal email, and plugging in some sort of dummy email in the original article that Adam Judd is the one who created. It's being updated all the way up until April 16th of this year. So what the fuck are you doing editing articles that were written, look at that, Monday, January 30th, 2023, when hypothetically he didn't die until the 31st. You can combat that narrative all you want, that these articles are being written before he even dies. Why is Adam Judd tampering with articles all the way up until April 16th of 2024? What do you fucking need to touch the article for, sir? What really kicked off my investigation was watching Lucy's video. And when she said something about the U.S. Embassy, when she called the U.S. Embassy and they were like, yeah, we haven't really started or known about any investigation into this Leo and Longevity gentleman, it really sparked my interest. And I was like, well, how does the news outlet say that they've been, but they haven't yet? There's got to be a mole somewhere in there. And then I started I literally, like the Russians, I took the drill, I came down and I bored, bruh. Because this was really, it's very telling. And there's also videos that we've used the Wayback When machine to show that, and there's trolls that are actually in my video that have been trying to combat this narrative that we haven't really solidified yet. We use the Wayback When machine, but we've actually showed that the Adam Judd, one of those hit pieces that he did on Leo Longevity's death, when you do the conversion to Thai time, he's actually released the hit piece that Leo died, one of those hit pieces from a side news outlet. It came out quicker and earlier than the Pattaya news outlet. Yet, I don't want to say that's fact, but I'm about 80% sure that one of these hit pieces that was kicked out to the media that Adam Judd was responsible for had actually predated the article that came out in the Pattaya News. Very eerie stuff. And when Ennis texts Lucy, they had to have an article there ready to go to make it look valid, that gave them time to do things with the body in that window. There was like an 8-hour window where they were able to manipulate things. And so we have a Friday to Monday timeline. That's why it happens on Friday. They go, quote unquote, shooting, and they leave. They come back. I've even shown in my videos where the club head strikes the triangle, it creates a reverse triangle. So if you've hit from one side, it creates the triangle. If you turn on the other side and you hit, it creates the opposite triangle. So that's how I know that the toilet was dislodged, because Connor Murphy was the one that was in such a manic state that he was at an angle that when he was using the toilet as a prop and using his leg as leverage, he's using the counteracting force on the toilet to whack down, that it's the force of Connor Murphy kicking over the toilet because he's trying to get an angle where he can hit down and kill Leo with the club, and it's the angle that he's trying to get in, that he is actually the one that dislodges the toilet. This is a very thorough cover-up. I have Adam Judd putting out articles saying that Leo and Longevity hits women. Boom, 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 boom. On different outlets. Article written by Adam Judd. And then you see to tie together that all these, and yeah, guess who wrote the article in Thailand about Joe Aesthetics' freaky passing? Go look in the Pattaya News and who wrote that article. About Joe Aesthetics. Adam Judd. This rabbit hole and wormhole goes so deep, that we've already started to spider out into Enhanced Labs, and why Enhanced Labs is sitting on a dirt lot behind a farm. And it's not even behind a farm. It's attached to it's nothing. It's nothing. I don't care if my video gets 10 to 15 views. I know who's watching it. Hey, Con. Hey, Con Man. Hey, Tone. How you doing? I know those guys watch because Connor's talked to me through subliminal messages at his driving range. Yeah, I saw that, Connor. You speak to me through subliminal messages. Yes, I'm actually able to decipher and know when you're talking to me. How funny. But both of you are scared to walk on U.S. soil. Funny how that is, because you would never leave. I can taunt you from the U.S., because you will never come here. You know who we need now? Should I mention his name? You know who I need in the comments right here? Yeah, I need Unk in the building. Unk, let us know. Fill us in. How do you feel about this? Tony's close. Yeah, Tony's real close to getting locked up. I can smell it now. When you put out these little puff pieces like John has right now, not only have you furthered yourself into this conspiracy, but you have dug your heels in, and Tony's actually put some money in your pocket to have to put this video out. Just like that coon. I'm not even going to mention that guy's name. I'm not going to give him no credit. That washed up bodybuilder that thought he was a bodybuilder, he got paid off too because he worked for Enhanced. I've showed you guys the whole cabal. It's up to you to see it. The whole cabal is evil. It's not just circulating here. Yes, they're being investigated now because John just put a video out. We get to see what the spider effect is. Now we get to sit back and relax. Now we get to sit back with the data that's been given to the Thai authorities. They get to actually do their job. And John's going to be like, this other channel's got less views and less subs than that other channel, and he's spewing nonsense and conspiracy theories. No, John, I care about the message, what God has given me, and what I feel obligated to do. These are very bad guys. I don't feel even one shred of a threat or scared to go out to Thailand with the information I have, walk into the Pattaya police station, because there's barely any crime out there anyway, and be like, here's what I have. Going over to Gardenville and just knock on the door like, I just want to see the wall. There's one photo that if I had a picture of the wall of the outside of the window to see how the stucco has been removed from them scaling the wall and their shoes dragging off the side of the wall. I just need to see a little nuance. I need to see a little bit of detail on the outside. I'll never get to see it. But you would never be able to get it back to the normal way it was. So if anybody is in Thailand, go take a picture of the side of the building. And that's one picture. There's other things that if I drive by the location, I'd be able to see the nuance and to put more of the pieces together. These are very bad guys. Tony Huge, why? Why on the side of the Enhanced bottles, certain bottles that you don't even show it anymore, but you say, product bottled and shipped by, and then that address that you no longer put is a dirt lot in Nebraska. It's nothing. Where are you creating your supplements, sir? Where are you bottling your supplements? We'll save that for another video. We have a lot more. Live, Leo, and longevity. It's ICU. And everything about us is blue collar, and we gets it out the mud. Please stay tuned.